So before I start up my Reddit post, I wanted to show y'all this comment. One of my friends jumped in my inbox and said, "My 82-year-old mommy watches your channel. She says, that's a smart little girl. She says, every woman under 55 is a little girl to her." And I'm like, tell mama I said, hey. I'm just sharing this because the reach of my platforms is expanding. And it's all thanks, it is thanks to the emotionals and hysterical XYs getting me banned from Facebook a few times, getting me banned from TikTok a couple of times, and then me just saying, you know what, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go post over there. I'm gonna post over there. I'm gonna expand my network to over here. And now I'm touching 82-year-old mamas. And it just tickles me pink. So I just wanted to say thank you to the hysterical men that got me kicked off of platforms multiple times. Okay, time for Reddit. Okay, now back to Reddit. So this man had posted an Am I the A-hole thread. He says, "Am I the a-hole for divorcing my cheating wife now that it's in my best interest to do so?" He mentioned my sub, the BurbNBougie sub, specifically. I'll get to that in a moment. So he made this post. Apparently, his wife cheated 8 years ago. They worked it out. Now he is on really good footing with his life and he wants to leave his wife. Okay, I'm going to read this part. He says, this is part of the update. He says, "I'm making this post because many people private messaged me and I was not able to reply to them due to an error on my previous account. I'm also not able to post with the previous account. The post seems to be removed, but there are people who have cross-posted it so it's preserved on other subreddits if you want to see it. I logged out yesterday and there were like 20 comments. I woke up to my post with thousands." Okay, so here's the original post. He's 43, his wife is 44. He says, "I discovered my wife's infidelity 8 years ago. My two kids were in primary school at that time, so I gave her another chance. It was somewhat genuine, as I was open to exploring if the marriage can be saved, and if it can't be, my kids will be older and can take the brunt of divorce better. I also refused to budge on the third kid that she wanted. I was not going to bring another kid in this marriage. To her credit, she has been an ideal wife since then. Worked on herself, but I never really forgave her. I just learned to be okay with status quo until now. I had an NSTEMI, I don't know what that is, about a year ago. That changed my perspective. I got my cholesterol and blood pressure level down, started taking my fitness seriously, and I am now in the best shape of my life. That triggered self improvement in other areas, my style, my profession, etc. With that came a nagging feeling I can get a better partner than my wife. I want to go into retirement with a woman who never betrayed me. So I am now leaving my wife. I was honest with her about the reason. I think I can do better than her. That's why I am leaving her. I told her she is still pretty, which is somewhat true, but what I need is a person who never cheated on me, and she can't be that person. Since our kids are older now, her utility for me is decreasing with every passing day. There's no point in delaying the inevitable. She is not happy is an understatement. She is accusing me of using her. She is also distressed about not having a third kid. Thinks that I robbed her of a third kid, which I find most outrageous. She was willing to bring another kid in a broken marriage that she broke. And even if I left her 8 years ago, was she going to jump on any peen to get a baby? Has she no consideration of the other two kids? I am basically ignoring her attempts to goad me into arguments and marching forward with the divorce. I'm in the best position to divorce now. Kids are older. I can date easily. Am I the a-hole? He literally said her utility for me is decreasing with every passing day. So his wife appliance, his wife robot is basically, he needs an upgraded version. It's time to get rid of her. They type these words and then we cross post them and then it's like, now we're the issue. But let's get to the rest of it. Okay, so now back to this part. So he was talking about that the post was removed, but it was cross posted on other subreddits, and he's just going to reply to people here. He says, "No, I am not going to go on a date with my wife to see if I can make it work. I am not interested in making it work." He says, I find weird amount of people fixated on possibility of dating a younger woman. There's also someone who cross-posted my post on a Reddit, a sub called BurbNBougie, which apparently is a passionate Black woman feminist sub. Not sure why feminists would be passionate about me dating a younger woman, but I am here to put your mind at ease. I am only interested in dating a woman in my age bracket. So people having meltdowns over the possibility of me dating younger women, you can go to sleep now. I am curious though, is this some kind of existential fear of people if I date a younger woman? Nobody was worried about him dating a younger woman. We just cross posted the post because we watch posts on Reddit. That's just what we do. I just find it so funny that other people were cross posting it on other subs, but he, singles me out and lets them know that I was a Black woman feminist. I thought that that was funny. I figured you might too. There are a lot of messages telling me that they understand why she cheated. I assume they are saying I am to blame for her cheating. If that's the case, I am making it right. I am making the right call to leave. People who are saying that I am sickly and going to die from a heart attack during Nookie. Yes, I probably will. Yes, I still have the audacity to live despite that knowledge. Also, people here saying that I owe it to her to forgive her. No, I don't. No one owes you forgiveness no matter what. You are not entitled to it. It's not something you give and other people gets to take. You have to make the decision to forgive every day. I suggest people with this thinking to reevaluate your views. It's better to not cheat than feel entitled for forgiveness because you are not, no matter what, the cost you pay. I talked to my wife. After my heart attack, I thought of what my future would look like. I just want a nice and quiet retirement. Go for a walk in the park, feed some pigeons and stray cats, raise a puppy, watch some old television, sleep. I don't want to travel. I don't want to go on a cruise like my parents. I do want to see northern lights and experience a total solar eclipse. I want a partner with me to do all that, and she cannot be that person. I don't see her as part of my future. I see her as a memory that will fade away with time. I told her to plan her future away from me. I think she is starting to accept it. Time will tell. And finally, I would like to thank people who messaged me in support. I read all your messages. My wife also read the post and your messages. She has a lot of thinking to do, but she is finally accepting the reality of the situation. Either she will see me as a bad person, like many commenters or do, or she will see it from my perspective. Whatever she chooses to do, it's her life now. She gets to take responsibility for it from now on. My reality is a second shot at life. I agree that nobody should be forced to stay in a marriage. I also agree that no one has to accept your apology. People He is very forthcoming with what he's doing now. He let her live 8 years after they broke up. I mean, after she cheated, and he made it seem like everything was fine. That was grimy. That was grimy. So she should see that and be like, okay, that was grimy of him. He's right. I need to take the rest of my years and either be by myself, heal, or do whatever. So yes, totally break up, whatever. This is me right here, BurbNBougie. This is honestly hysterical. And now I'm talking about the subreddit part. Oh my God, I'm totally sure that other groups got the same post, but he singled me out. And yes, any passionate feminists are welcome, not just Black. I'm just putting that out there. You can find my community here. It's BurbNBougie. You can drop the post that you want me to see. You can drop pictures. You can make posts. Here's the BurbNBougie community. It's small, but it's growing. All right, jump in here. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Find out season is truly here, and these men's getting the consequences of their action. It has been interesting to behold. This was posted in the True Off My Chest subreddit. She says, my husband says that he cannot look at me now because I had nookie with a man in a 2x2 foursome that he suggested. So the consequences of his own action, and he cannot accept it. Okay, she says, my husband, 40, has been talking about swinging and having an orgy for a while now, and he basically said that he was bored with our nookie life. We have been together since we were 17, and he wants to experience and experiment sexually, but he wants to do it with me. It devastated me at first, but he made sense and he said that he didn't want to cheat on me. So he downloaded Tinder and a local sex app that we have in my country. Or is it just a website? I don't know. Anyway, he found a couple, Max, who's 30, Alice, who's 25. He made all the arrangements and set up a date. I told him that I wasn't interested in any nookie with the woman. My husband was a bit cross, but that was my only issue. Then we went to their apartment. We had a few drinks and other things. It was a bit awkward, but my husband seemed like he was comfortable. Max noticed me being awkward and honestly horrified. He was kind and gentle, and my husband was too busy to notice me literally frozen in my spot. Anyway, Max and I ended up being intimate. Only then my husband started paying attention to me, and I felt angry eyes on me, and he was a bit rough with me. Now, 2 weeks later, and my husband hasn't looked at me, and I try to talk and discuss with him, but he just shuts me down. Then he has an outburst saying that I was doing it on purpose and that I am never as playful with him as I was with Max, and he accused me of enjoying it. I thought that was the point. He said that if I was this enthusiastic with him, he would probably never felt the need to want to sleep with others. He is very angry with me and is having trouble sleeping. The consequences of one own action is amazing, and these people getting what they ask for and melting down about it, I don't know what to do, what to say about these most logical leaders, these non emotional, most logical leaders who ask for something, get it, and then get mad that they got it. Anyway, some of the comments: were you not supposed to enjoy it? WTF did he expect? No, she wasn't. I'm willing to bet the plan was all about his pleasure, and the only reason he wanted the OP there was to justify his desire to cheat. Only problem was he didn't bank on the OP having a good experience with the other guy or even being seen as desirable by the other guy. This person says, I think the resentment boat has set sail already. Sounds like he was half checked out by the time this happened, and like others stated, he didn't expect his wife to have any enjoyment. This person says he was probably in the mindset of, ugh, I can't stand this old ugly hag. Notice how first part is a 25-year-old woman. Him seeing his wife enjoying and being enjoyed by a younger man has him projecting all of his feelings about her as her feelings about him. It's her fault for not enjoying the nookie with him enough when it was his idea to seek other people out to make nookie with. It's textbook gaslighting. He's just mad because I 100% bet the 25-year-old woman he was banging enjoyed it just as much as his wife usually does. He can't come to terms with the fact that he is terrible in bed. This person says, LOL is like all the open marriage husbands that get angry because some horny 20 somethings aren't interested in them while their wives, whom they assumed no one else wanted, are getting dates with younger men. Absolutely. They really overestimate their value. They overestimate that women would actually want them. Many of them are not having any mirrors. They're not looking in the mirrors full body. They're not. And they really think that their wives are undesirable simply because they no longer desire their wives. This person says men are always convinced the only thing standing between them and a hot tub full of Insta models is you. Exactly. This was cross posted in the open marriage regret subreddit, and that's where someone tagged me. And I thank you. This is how I get all of these, most of this content is people tagging me so I don't actually have to comb through all of the posts. Anyways, jump in this, like I said, another find out season video. These people are they're really learning. Consequences have actions. Is that it? Okay. I might not have said that right, but y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Find Out season is continuing to kick these people's butts. Now, he's 30, she's 28. He says, my wife is running our marriage and I don't know how to fix it. We have an open relationship and her jealousy is showing. Now, I'm wondering if he meant to say, my wife is ruining our marriage. Now, the short part, wife acting jealous and is sharing our business with the parents. All right, let's get into it. He says, "Hi, everyone. I'm new to Reddit, so bear with me. My friend told me this was a great place for advice and helped me make this post. My wife and I have been together for 5 years and married for 2 years now. She has been my rock. Last year, I realized monogamy wasn't for me. I wasn't someone who had a chance to just have that fun phase, if you know what I mean. My glow up was late, and I started going to the gym and advancing in my career. I had women interested in me who wouldn't even look at me. I was honest with my wife and told her that we need to either open the relationship or get a divorce. She said she was hurt, but I told her I never got to live like others did, and she chose to stay and allow me to explore. I told her it wouldn't be emotional, just nookie. I would like to say, let me open up, or divorce just says, I'm going to get with JJ whether you like it or not. That is the choice. You either like it or you don't like it. That's not a real choice. He says her actions are not following her words, and she acts extremely jealous and possessive, and it's created arguments. I have to remind her that she should leave if she can't respect my boundaries. What really set me off is that she told my parents, and they are fundamentalist Christian, so you know how that works. My weird religious family is on her side and been annoying me by telling me to stop. It's a lot, but if anyone can help, because this is starting to stress me out, that I'm writing this before work instead of drinking my coffee. That's how stressed he is. Okay, so Humboldt says she's poly under duress and obviously unhappy about it. But you're the one ruining the marriage by forcing non monogamy and then blaming her for being upset about it. The OP says, I'm on break and these comments are ridiculous. I'm blaming her for agreeing to something and then acting like a child about it. Also, this wasn't permanent, just until I satisfy my needs. Couldn't she understand? I just needed a few orgasms. Someone says, no, you're being ridiculous, not seeing how manipulative it is to marry someone and only then disclose that you wanted to be unfaithful to them and that they either have to tolerate it or you're leaving. You just use the fact that she agreed to it under duress to justify your despicable behavior. This person says, Jesus effing Christ, you're just plain obtuse, aren't you? Not everyone has been sleeping around. So first of all, you don't get to do what everyone else has done. You basically used your wife's love for you to force her to let you sleep with other people. Now you are pissy because she is unhappy and is showing it. But don't worry, that won't last forever because you are steadily killing her love for you. One day she will just go and then you can F around, work out without anyone caring. Oh, that says F around without, even though they put workout, F around without anyone caring. And this person says the fact that you dropped this bomb so soon after marriage makes it look like you were always planning to do this and just waited until you were married to manipulate her into staying. This person says she didn't agree. You forced her to choose between two options she didn't want, and now you're getting mad that she's unhappy. How can you be this effing blind? This person says OP is being ruled by his peen, not his brain. Somebody else says you're a pig and I hope she leaves you. She agreed because she didn't want to leave. She didn't want you to leave her. Gosh, your poor wife. She can do so much better. Someone wants to know if she can bang other people. I don't think he answered that. Okay, so the beginning where I started talking was 6 months ago. This is yesterday. And the title is here. The post is gone, but the title says enough. My fundamentalist Christian parents is telling my wife not to reconcile. Okay, some of the comments. By your own words, you made the decision to create an open marriage and your wife was not comfortable with it, but tried her best to please you. You have since separated and realized the grass is not always greener. Sorry to say it, but your parents are right. You were a bad husband to her. You didn't have to create an open marriage. That wasn't part of your vows. That was what you wanted for your own self indulgence. If you can admit you messed up, then there is room to grow and to be the husband that she deserves. If not, then I hope she doesn't make the same mistake twice of being with someone who doesn't appreciate what they've got until it's gone. So the OP does come back. He says, we will not be doing an open relationship. It's just messed up that my own parents are holding what I did in the past over my head, even though she did agree to it. And the person says, she agreed to it only because she didn't want to lose you, and you were willing to push her to that edge. You shouldn't have ever been in an open marriage in the first place because you either want your wife or you don't. You can't have your cake and eat it too and expect people to not feel unwanted. You did a messed up thing for a sustained period of time. Your parents are disappointed in you. Their response is a reasonable reaction to your behavior. Try to put the shoe on the other foot and see it from a perspective other than your own. The OP says, regardless of how you feel, that is the past. I'm focused on the present, which is my parents not respecting boundaries. And somebody's like, dude, your parents blocked you, which is them establishing a boundary. Don't contact us. We don't want to talk to you. And you like blatantly disrespected that by using no caller ID. So pretty rich of you to talk about boundaries when you don't respect theirs. So I'm supposed to respect their boundaries when they blatantly ignore mine and telling my wife not to reconcile. F that. Okay, so what I'm saying is he doesn't really know what the word boundaries mean. I don't really think that he understands words that much. I don't think he understands. This person says, read your post history. Sorry, dude, but you are absolutely in the wrong. She loves you and wanted to be with you. You basically forced her into doing something she didn't want to do. Her words are irrelevant. She agreed, so she didn't lose you. That was very clear. Her actions, her jealousy, these were very clearly showed you how she felt about this. You knew you were hurting her and chose to do it anyway. Your parents sound like good people. I wish them the best and hope they are successful in convincing this poor woman to stay away. And this person says, are you serious? You may not agree with my last actions, but we are going back to monogamy. That was the entire issue in the relationship anyway. This dude is not fully comprehending that he's not going to get back with this woman. Find Out season 2024 has been amazing so far. Jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, final Reddit of the day. My wife is temporarily giving up being a mom after a mental health crisis. I'm not going to editorialize, I'm going to read it first. I will try to make this short, but my wife had a psychiatric emergency late last week where the police and the medics needed to be called to get her to the ER. To make it a long story short, but we believe she had a psychotic episode. She has a history of depression and anxiety, and despite being stable for a few months, she went into a depressive episode and a week later, this psychotic episode. At the hospital, she was placed on a psych hold for nearly 72 hours, saying she did not need to be there. She was admitted to a unit involuntarily for about 48 hours. But when I spoke to her yesterday, she seemed to have come out of the psychosis and stated she needed voluntary treatment. I informed her care team about her changing her mind about treatment, as well as encouraging her to tell them. And they told me they are going to discuss this morning. During this talk, my wife, she informed me she can't be a mom right now and she needs to give up being a mom and focus on herself. We have 4 kids, ages 16 to 4, and they were all home during the crisis. I was at work, so they are all a little traumatized from it, but they are patiently waiting for her to come home. My wife stated her plan is to go to her parents' house 2.5 hours away so the kids weren't a distraction. I didn't say this to her when we spoke, but I almost feel like she is abandoning the kids. I'm all for her getting the help she needs, and this will absolutely support her through this. But I feel this is unfair to the kids. If my wife truly goes through with this, it is going to create issues for me too. I planned on taking a leave from work when she came home. I have crappy work hours that at the moment that I cannot change. Unfortunately, and don't go into work until the kids are nearly out of school and don't get home until sometimes 4 a.m. We have no local family. As I said, her parents are 22.5 hours away, and I'm somewhat estranged from my mom, who is 3.5 hours away, who can help during this time. My in laws are currently with us helping me while she is in the hospital, but they need to return home in 9 days to deal with some of their own personal things. I am the main income for the household, so I can't really quit either. My work hours literally only worked because she was able to be a mother. I just don't know what to do, honestly. Every day, my younger 2 kids, 6 and 4, ask me when their mom is coming back home. I just don't have the heart to tell them it's going to be a long time because their mom doesn't want to be a parent right now. Honestly, I'm kind of pissed for her wanting to walk away from her parental responsibilities. I feel it's just completely unfair to everyone. I haven't said any of this to her because I want to be supportive of her recovery. I just truly don't know what to do. Anyone have any advice on how to explain all of this to her while still being supportive? So she's had a psychotic break. She's having mental health issues. Um, and you would still trust her with the kids. You just need a body there so you can go to work. Now, fast forward if she were to stay in this home and then something were to happen to her or the kids. You know, I really don't know the thought process of this person. I know that he's sitting up here like, he's upset that his life will have to change and it will have to change, but he's not really seeing the severity of it because having someone that's having a full on psychotic break is not the best person to have around your children. Some of the comments. This person says, okay, so you left out that she's on a new antidepressant in the post. I once took Zoloft and almost had a nervous breakdown. I felt like a crazy person. These drugs can do weird things. If this is something very out of the ordinary for her, I believe it is the new antidepressant. I have personal experience with them, good, bad, and the ugly. Really hope someone on her care team recognizes this and does something. Please think about what I wrote and talk to her docs about it. The OP says it was left out because I did not figure out that information until after it was posted. I was not informed of that piece of information after her appointment. She simply just told me it went well and that she had a good talk with the doctor. I don't force her to tell me anymore if she doesn't want to. That night, she had to pick up a prescription for a kid. So when she was going to the pharmacy, being she never mentioned about a medication change from her appointment, I assumed it was to get the kids medication. I offered to go. She said no. I didn't argue, so she left. I found out about it through the ER doctor. This person said, I read a bunch of your comments and you mentioned your brother being especially willing to help. Could you ask him to research and make calls about local resources, after school programs, and potential nannies or other caregivers? That way you can spend more time with your kids instead of researching and making calls. The OP says he is willing. I likely will have him do that at some point. I have done a lot of research the past few days and set up appointments for the kids and such. So a lot of that is done now. But I think next time something big like that on my to-do list list comes up, I will send it his way. For now, I'm done researching stuff today as my head is spinning. We do know in this society, a woman is usually charged with being the primary caretaker. And when that woman is mentally or physically unable to do so, it's like their appliance is malfunctioning. This woman is simply an appliance and she's not able to do her duties as the house appliance. And now he's stressed out. Now, if a woman were in this position and the man became incapacitated or had a mental break or walked away, like some people do, she would be on it and creating a plan and not be like, oh my God, I need my appliance to come back into the home. This is unfortunate that this woman is going through this and that her family is seeing this and that her children saw a psychotic break. But this is life. And this is the reason why both parents have got to be actively involved in many of these aspects. This man didn't even know that she was on a medication. He has not been checked in because he hasn't had to be checked in because his wife appliance was checked into all of these things. And now she is malfunctioning. That's how I see it. It's unfortunate that his wife appliance is malfunctioning and now he has to figure out how to circumvent the malfunction. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. But also go ahead and subscribe. If you made it this far, go ahead and hit the follow button.